Most people believe attraction is loud, obvious, and easy to see, but the truth is far more fascinating. The most powerful moments of chemistry often happen in silence, in subtle shifts of presence, posture, and positioning. Curious. A single change in how someone stands, pauses, or leans can instantly raise emotional tension in a room. The strange part is that most people never notice these signals, even while reacting to them. Excited. Today, we're uncovering the hidden positions of presence that quietly intensify attraction and make ordinary moments suddenly feel impossible to ignore. Presence often carries more influence than movement because people subconsciously read energy before actions. When someone enters a space with calm confidence, posture relaxed, and breathing steady, the environment reacts. Thoughtful. Human psychology is wired to notice stability because stability signals safety and authority. Rapid gestures or restless behavior create noise that distracts from emotional impact. A composed presence, however, builds curiosity. Others begin focusing on the person rather than the surroundings. Curious. This silent magnetism can slowly pull attention without a single dramatic action. In social dynamics, presence works like gravity. The calmer and more grounded someone appears, the more others feel drawn toward that emotional center. Control often begins with stillness because stillness communicates certainty. When a person is comfortable enough to pause, slow down, and hold space without rushing, the mind of the observer begins filling the silence with questions. Curious. Humans are naturally curious about unexplained calmness. Instead of constant movement, a moment of pause creates tension in a conversation or interaction. That tension is not negative. It simply heightens awareness. Stillness signals that someone is not desperate for approval or validation. Size. It shows control over the situation and over personal emotions. In psychological terms, restraint increases perceived value. The fewer unnecessary movements someone makes, the stronger their emotional influence becomes in the moment. Angles can completely transform emotional intensity because human perception responds strongly to spatial positioning. Standing directly face to face can sometimes create pressure, while shifting slightly to the side softens the interaction. The angle of the shoulders, head, and stance communicates openness or dominance without words. Even a small adjustment can change how energy flows between two people. Thoughtful. When angles create comfort, communication becomes smoother and more natural. When angles create tension, awareness increases and emotions rise. Social psychology often shows that positioning affects trust and attraction more than spoken language. Curious. A thoughtful angle invites connection, while a rigid or closed angle may block emotional exchange. Proximity has a powerful psychological effect because distance influences comfort and excitement simultaneously. When two people stand closer than expected, the brain instantly becomes alert. Curious. This reaction happens because personal space is tied to safety and intimacy. If someone enters that space calmly and respectfully, the closeness can create warmth and attention. If the distance remains slightly shorter than normal, the mind begins to focus more on the interaction. Heart rate may subtly increase and awareness sharpens. Thoughtful proximity, when used naturally, creates a shared bubble of attention. Inside that small zone, conversations often feel more meaningful and emotions become more vivid than when people remain far apart. Eye-level positioning creates a sense of equality and focus in communication. When people stand or sit at the same visual height, the interaction feels balanced and direct. Neither person appears physically dominant or distant. Thoughtful. This alignment encourages deeper engagement because the brain processes eye contact as a sign of attention and sincerity. When eyes meet naturally, subtle emotional signals become easier to read. Small expressions, shifts in tone, and changes in breathing become visible. That clarity strengthens connection. Curious eye-level positioning also removes physical distractions, allowing both individuals to concentrate fully on the moment. This simple adjustment can transform a casual conversation into something far more engaging and memorable. Dominant posture communicates confidence through body language alone. Standing with shoulders relaxed but open, back straight, and head level signals self-assurance. Curious, humans instinctively associate open posture with strength and reliability. When posture collapses inward, it often reflects uncertainty or discomfort. A confident stance does not require aggression or exaggeration. It simply shows comfort in one's own space. Observers read these signals almost instantly. Thoughtful. Strong posture can influence how seriously someone is taken in conversation. It also affects internal emotions, as the body and mind influence each other continuously. When posture becomes stable and open, confidence tends to grow naturally along with the perception of authority. Slow pacing increases anticipation because the human mind becomes more engaged when events unfold gradually. Fast movements and rushed speech often overwhelm attention and reduce emotional depth. When someone slows their gestures, speech rhythm, and responses, each moment becomes clearer and more deliberate. Pause. This slower rhythm invites the other person to focus on details rather than rushing past them. Anticipation grows because the mind expects something meaningful to follow. The pause between actions creates a subtle sense of suspense. Curious. In many psychological interactions, pacing shapes emotional intensity. By slowing down slightly, conversations gain weight and presence, allowing each word and movement to carry stronger impact. Silence often communicates more than constant talking because it creates space for interpretation. When someone pauses instead of filling every moment with words, the listener's mind becomes active. Thoughtful. Thoughts expand, emotions surface, and attention sharpens. Silence also signals confidence, since people who feel secure rarely rush to prove themselves verbally. A well-timed pause can highlight the importance of a statement or simply allow a moment to breathe. In many powerful conversations, the quiet seconds carry the strongest emotional weight. Pause. Silence encourages reflection and curiosity. Rather than overwhelming someone with information, it invites them to participate mentally, making the interaction feel deeper and more meaningful. Physical alignment influences emotional energy because the body often mirrors internal feelings. When two people unconsciously align their posture, direction, or gestures, psychologists call it mirroring. Curious. This natural synchronization indicates comfort and mutual attention. Alignment might appear in similar sitting positions, matching walking pace, or facing the same direction during conversation. These subtle parallels create a feeling of harmony. When alignment occurs, communication often feels smoother and more relaxed. The brain interprets shared movement patterns as compatibility. Even without words, this synchronization strengthens connection. Thoughtful. It signals that both individuals are mentally present in the same moment, reinforcing emotional understanding and creating a sense of unity. Unexpected shifts create excitement because the brain responds strongly to novelty. When patterns suddenly change in a natural way, curious attention instantly increases. For example, a shift in tone, movement, or direction can break predictability and spark curiosity. Humans are naturally drawn to experiences that feel slightly unpredictable yet safe. These shifts prevent interactions from becoming monotonous. Excited. The element of surprise encourages emotional engagement and keeps conversations dynamic. In social psychology, novelty activates reward systems in the brain, making the moment feel more stimulating. When used subtly, unexpected changes add energy to interactions without creating confusion or discomfort. Confidence in positioning changes perception because body language shapes how others interpret intentions. Someone who stands or moves with certainty appears more trustworthy and influential. Thoughtful. Positioning includes where a person chooses to stand, how they approach a conversation, and how comfortably they occupy space. When these actions appear deliberate, observers assume competence and self-awareness. Confidence in positioning does not mean controlling others. It simply reflects comfort in one's environment. Pause. This assurance influences how seriously someone's words are taken. Over time, consistent, confident positioning builds a reputation for calm authority. People naturally respond more positively to individuals who appear grounded and intentional in their movements. Restraint often creates the strongest attraction because mystery stimulates imagination. When someone reveals everything immediately, curiosity fades quickly. Curious. Holding back certain expressions, movements, or information encourages the mind to explore possibilities. This controlled restraint is not about secrecy, but about pacing emotional energy. By allowing moments to unfold gradually, interactions gain depth and intrigue. People tend to value experiences that require attention and patience. Psychological attraction often grows strongest when anticipation has time to develop. Thoughtful restraint allows tension and curiosity to coexist, creating a subtle pull that keeps the interaction alive and engaging without overwhelming the moment. Real attraction rarely comes from trying too hard. It grows from calm confidence, controlled movement, and the quiet power of presence. Thoughtful. When positioning, pacing, and restraint come together, interactions gain a natural intensity that words alone can't create. Mastering these subtle dynamics transforms ordinary encounters into moments that stay in people's minds long after the conversation ends.